Erling Haaland. Rebel, we're getting into scary hours. Or are we? Erling Haaland, our favourite striker in the world right now. Someone we're trying to sign. Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 for another sort of transfer video. One we've been trying to manifest for a long time is Erling Haaland to City, and we said it in every video we do on Haaland. There will be constant updates and constant piece of information being leaked and being reported about his future and where that is, where that will be. And today we're getting some not so exciting news, or alleged news anyway. Sky Mark is the man doing most of the talking today, Dara, right? About the player that we are trying to, like I keep saying, manifest it. About his future, and unfortunately City's name did not crop up this afternoon. I think it was about 4 o'clock this came out. We said we'd do a video on it. Now Sky Mark is saying Real Madrid's interest in Erling Haaland is now official. So Erling Haaland have thrown themselves back in the mix, even though I think last time we did this video we were told they weren't in the mix. So you can see what journalists are doing here. They're just changing their tune every single week because they've got papers to write. They've got articles to fill. He's also saying Liverpool are front runners with PSG to sign Erling Haaland this summer. Mo Salah wants additional reinforcements to sign a new contract with the club. And a striker is on the agenda, with Haaland's €75 million release clause coming into play. But the main one that kind of, like, I don't personally believe Liverpool are going to get Erling Haaland. I know we've spoken about Norwegians having a sentimental factor with Liverpool or something like that. You know, you've spoken to a journalist who works in Norway who said Haaland likes Liverpool. I can't see them financing Erling Haaland. We know Liverpool are a club who are very tight with their finances. They have no problem being ruthless and letting players they love go on the basis that it doesn't fit their financial situation. PSG, of course, you cannot write them off. A club with a huge amount of money, they're ruthless about players they want. They have no problem putting any amount of zeros in the check. But we also were told by a few other sources today on Twitter, none of the big dogs, but it is still quite evident that Erling Haaland is City's top target, and rightly so. So with this news today, Dara, Liverpool, PSG, we were also told that Ralph Rangnick, the Man United manager, who's clearly a well-respected man in the game, has made contact with Alfie Haaland, Erling Haaland's father, of course a former City player, over something like a €65 million transfer and some crazy amount of wages. It's not something we want to be hearing. We do not want to be seeing Manchester United in the same conversation as Erling Haaland. What do you think about this news before we talk about where this leaves City?
I'm gonna go from the start. I don't think there is one journalist in the world that knows what's going on about this at the minute, because I don't think even Haaland and Raiola know what's going on. I don't think they know where they're going to end up, because quite frankly, I don't think there's been enough negotiations. I don't think United will get, because they have about 4 strikers at the minute, both of which are over the age of 35 and on mad wages. I know Cavani's probably going to leave, but Ronaldo's still sitting there on $500 a week. Then getting on to Liverpool, they don't financially have it. You said about Salah, he's going to sign a contract anyway. Let's not take the piss here. He's going to get a few reinforcements, but he will sign that contract. He wants to be in Liverpool. He doesn't have to turn around to them and say, spend 70 million on Haaland. He will be staying there, and they know he wants to stay there. He should have never come out and said he wanted to stay there. By the way, that's a big handicap working against him now. PSG are always going to be there. We know PSG are going to be there, especially if they lose Mbappe, but we're already out to seeing news today that there's enough things going in with the overinflated egos in that PSG dressing room. Why would you want to add Haaland to that when Pochettino is literally falling apart in the dressing room? I don't know. There's still plenty of signs pointing to City. I don't see why anyone's getting all jittery just yet, but we have backups. If worst comes to worst, we don't get them. We have backup plans there. I can see us going in for a number of people, whether it be Vlahovic or, I don't have a name on top of my head, anyone else. We will get a striker. It doesn't matter what happens with Haaland. We'll end up with a striker one way or the other, man.
I don't know if you find this one funny or not now. You're talking about alternatives to Haaland just in case it wasn't happening. Our friend Zishan is suggesting that Manchester City are now including Martial in their... Haaland still remains the number 1 target. I'm not even going to give that one the time of day, if I'm being totally honest. But Martin Blackburn, someone that we do give the time of day, we do give him a bit of credibility. He says that Real Madrid are serious contenders to beat Manchester City and Manchester United in the race for superstar Erling Haaland. So, I don't know, in terms of Real Madrid, does this mean they're maybe getting a bit jittery over signing Mbappe? And they're starting to turn their attention slightly to Haaland? Of Real Madrid is always in the mix for superstars like Erling. Like Dara said, not something to be getting too jittery over. What do you make of the Real Madrid situation?
I mean, we saw last night, I think they were out on Mbappe's birthday, I think, and Juan Bernat was holding up the Mbappe 2050 shirt, which, like, he signed the 2050. If me and Joe were talking about this off camera, if Mbappe has managed to is going to sign a long-term contract with Paris, they have to be investigated for some human rights revolt, like something like that. Just because there's not a chance he is happy enough to sign in there. They must have his dog held hostage if they end up signing him. But I don't see Madrid getting too jittery just yet. Honestly, I don't see them. I think they'll get Mbappe no matter what, because it's either. I think it's Mbappe. Mbappe's thinking, right, it's either Madrid. It's Madrid or nothing. Like, I mean, he has his heart set in there. I'd say he already has one agreed with them and all. I don't think they're getting jittery, but Madrid have that type of pulling power where they can get the two of them. They can end up with Mbappe. They can end up with Haaland as well, which is the scariest thing of all time. I don't think anyone will be touching European trophies if that happens. And that's the only scary thing about it. But I can't realistically see them getting both. We've seen with La Liga, they're very tight on their salary cap. We saw how they were with Barcelona. I can't see Mbappe going and getting what'll be 600k wages because he's getting them for free. And then I can't see Haaland going at 500 grand a week as well. It's not possible. It's not like they don't have a high wage bill with Modric, with Kroos and all that. And Modric's getting a new contract as well. They're not going to have the funds to fund all of these players at once. Like, a lot of signs are still pointing to City, and we've already said we won't get jittery, but I'm just calm. It's not even January yet.
Yeah, I think the one. Yeah, I know. The thing with Real Madrid, you are right. I know it's crazy to think about the prospect of them getting both those players. I would 100% agree with you. European football is finito if they were to get both of them, but it's definitely in the realms of possibility. But the one that, speaking to Alfie Haaland, I saw Mark Goldbridge just did an emergency live stream about Haaland to Man United and all this kind of stuff. Obviously, we know his father's history. We know his father's history with Man United and whatnot. And if they get him, it's massive for whoever gets him, wherever he ends up. Absolutely massive. But the prospect of him a little bit sickening. What do you think about that? Haaland to United. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, would it boost them to the point where they're big title challengers?
Well, yeah, naturally it would do, but are they going to sign the whole midfield that they need? Like, is this going to be another thing where they look at it and go, oh, we better get this to make sure City don't get him, like they do with Ronaldo, and then don't sign a whole midfielder and go out and get battered every week. Like, we didn't sign Ronaldo, we still went out and swept them apart without a striker. Like, it doesn't matter who they sign, unless they go out and sign an Ndidi or something like that, they won't. They probably won't win it. They don't have, like, you're not going to win that with Fred and McTominay and holding midfield. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how good Fred's been. You're not winning at with the two of them playing there. And, like, I don't know. I can see them challenging, but they just won't have it in them. It's like looking at Chelsea this year. They don't have it in them. They're missing a couple of players, but, like, will their football hold up? They don't even have a full-time manager. Ragnick is their interim manager, and he probably won't be appointed full-time manager either. This is what I'm saying about the links as well. He's not going to be there. He's not going to be that guy in the dressing room. He'll be in the club. He won't be that guy in the dressing room. It's just such little small links. There's nothing to really be getting worked up about. But they are definitely title contenders if he goes in. But I don't think they'll end up holding out for it. I think they'll just they'll drop points to stupid little teams like they have been for years. It's the same as.
Yeah, the thing with Man United is I don't think he'll end up there personally. For those of you sitting at home wondering why we're talking about these possibilities, is because we wanted to basically come on and just speak about this news on a player who's evidently City's top target. I don't think he'll end up there. I think it's probably between City and then probably mainly City and then slightly less so Real Madrid and PSG. I do think he's our top target. I think Man United have put themselves in the mix because they need to uphold their reputation of just being, one of the biggest clubs in the world. They have to be seen to be trying to attract these big players and trying to get them in because that's what the big clubs do, isn't it? But I don't think he's going to go there. I think I saw other reports saying that there's so many different journalists talking about Haaland today for some reason. I don't know, what is it, National Haaland Day or something? There was another journalist was saying Haaland has been overheard talking about how much he admires what's going on at Manchester City and what's going on in the Etihad. Similar to what we heard about Grealish not so long ago when he was still with Aston Villa. He was overheard saying things about City. So maybe that's a positive we can take this evening. But my overall thoughts is I wouldn't be getting jittery, as Dara says. I wouldn't be getting jittery at all. I would take these reports with very much a pinch of salt. It's same with Man United, or what goes for Man United is the same with Madrid, PSG, and Liverpool as well. We're all trying to be the big boys and try to be seen to attract these top players. But like I said, we just wanted to come on and give you our thoughts on these little pieces of news. When these pieces of news come out about players that City are clearly trying to sign, we want to give our thoughts and say what we think. I still think we're going to get him. But as Dara said earlier on the video, there's plenty of alternatives out there. And there's probably players we haven't even heard about that Pep can turn into a top quality number 9. So leave your thoughts down below on these pieces of news. Haaland to United, to Madrid, to PSG, to Liverpool, to Shamrock Rovers. Where's he going? Who knows? Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you very soon. Good night, God bless.